the local station. News 4 Jax starts now.
New cell phone video shows water rushing into an apartment building in San Marco as a man tries desperately to close the doors.
You got to do what you got to do, but it's like once the waves start coming in, you know, it broke the latch of the door, then you just got to, you know, get the door shut. That's all I was thinking, safely.
He tells us he was trying to hold back the water so his elderly father could be moved to safety.
It happened in an apartment complex that's home to many elderly residents in San Marco. We want to take you live over that neighborhood with our Sky 4 helicopter. Look at the cars and the debris and the standing water. Channel 4's Jim Piggott was there today. He's one of several reporters covering the aftermath of Irma. He's joining us live. Jim, you talked to neighbors about how they were getting by now without power and being surrounded by water.
You know, let me show you. This is the Towers of Jacksonville. But if you've been around here a while, most of this know this as Baptist Towers. And you can see there's still water in front of the building, but it's gone down a great deal. I was here earlier today, and you couldn't even wade through here. You had to really be careful. You see the fire truck that's out there? Well, actually, it's here pumping out the elevator shaft, the water that's gone into the elevator shaft for the senior residents that are here. People are sitting out front because they still don't have power. But I was here too, and I met one family that was here, and they were trying to get out as Irma was coming in. Joe Dupree and his mom and dad live on the first floor, and they were here because Joe can't climb steps. But when Irma showed up, they knew they had to move because the water was coming in. This is cell phone video shot by Joe's mom, Vera. And look what's happening. Joe Jr.'s down at the end of the hall trying to close the doors and strap them shut with an extension cord. All the while, the water from the St. Johns River is pouring into the hallway and into their home.
You had to get the door shut safely, and it just started going up 2 inches at a time. And then at that point, we had to get my dad out upstairs to our friend Gil's apartment, which is on the 6th floor. And then it was just batten down the hatches and hope it didn't get no higher, and it just kept going up 2 inches at a time.
Destroy your parents' apartment?
Yeah, from your waist down, it's pretty much got a ring around it.
As you can see, the water is still here. And from the home video that we've seen, that's when it was all coming in through the doors. And if you look at this place is a mess. The furniture here, at times the water was all the way up, covering part of this. Now, they're out here trying to make repairs right now and get everything back online, and they're working as hard as they can to do this, and they're trying to save what they can at this point. But you can see it's a mess inside here, and it was also a mess outside, and these people are just trying to get their lives back together.
Yes, I do feel very lucky. Well, thank God that we're all safe. Never mind this stuff here. I mean, we survived.
And for that, they are grateful, and they say they will think about evacuating during the next storm. So the power is still out here, but one thing that the residents here were telling me, you know, the cars, they said, were actually floating at the time. And if you think about it, if the water's waist deep, yet. That's what they think happened. We haven't heard that officially at this point. So they're waiting for their electricity to come back. A lot of people just sit out front here. They said they're being patient, but like the other problems we've seen all around the San Marco area and the city, it's getting hot. They're getting frustrated. They just hope to have power back soon and get their lives back to normal. We're live in San Marco. Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station.
Well, right now, several school districts in our area have been assessing any damage and forming decisions about when schools will be safe to reopen. Clay, Duval, and St. Johns counties now say that they will be closed for the rest of the week, along with Alachua, Union, Glynn, Putnam, Flagler, Ware, and Columbia counties. If you have a student in Nassau, Bradford, Baker, or Camden counties, school is closed through at least tomorrow. In Brantley and Charlton counties, school was closed today, and as soon as those districts make a decision about tomorrow, we'll let you know both on air and on news4jax.com.
Checking on power outages in the past hour, the CEO of JEA, Paul McElroy, gave an update on restoration efforts, saying more than 1,000 people are working 16 hours a day to get the lights back on. Taking a look at JEA's current outage map, about 87,000 homes and businesses are still in the dark At the height of the storm, that number was 284,000. McElroy did not give a definite answer to the when question, saying only, depending on where you live and how much damage is in your area, power could be back on in a few days. In St. Johns County, about 37,000 Florida Power and Light customers are still without power. That is down from 76,000. Clay Electric is reporting 21,000 without power in Clay County. Historic Riverside had the highest storm surge in history, forcing dozens of people out of their homes. Channel 4's Vic Micolucci spent the day talking with some of the residents who have no idea when they can live in their homes again. He's joining us live. Vic?
Tom, it's absolutely heartbreaking for them. We have seen so many come and go throughout the day, and they don't know what is in their future, where they'll go, when they'll be able to get back in here. Many people tell me they lost just about everything that they owned, and they are devastated. But they are banding together and doing everything they can to get on that long road to recovery. This was hours after the worst of it, but take a look at those waves. They're crashing into these riverside apartments.
The river looked like the Atlantic Ocean.
John Watson and his son were here.
There was 8-foot waves out there.
Riding it out and eventually having to move to the second floor stairwell.
We slept right here, this little stairwell, so.
How many people?
There was 3 of us up here. Hell no, I ain't gonna do it again.
The power of this storm, very real for those along the river.
It was 3 foot high in this room right here.
Storm surge smashed through these homes.
These windows here are gone. So the waves were crashing in over the seawall coming in here.
Drone video shows the houses that got the brunt of it. Residents there tell me they lost just about everything. The floor has buckled. The foundation is cracked.
The waves hitting the building felt like a dump truck backing up and hitting the wall over and over for a couple of hours.
Angel Marquez shot this video from his second-story unit.
The units to the right are destroyed. The units to the left are destroyed. Ours was salvaged, and you almost feel blessed.
Now he's spending his time helping those who were less fortunate.
Those waves were crashing right through those windows.
Still, even days later, there is widespread flooding here. First Street, Second Street, all the way out to Riverside. There are so many people that say that their roads are still impassable. People having to use big boots and waders just to get to their houses. As far as power, that's a big issue. A lot of people here in the Riverside community do not have electricity still. Some of these homes do, but there are a couple high-rises near the Fuller Warren Bridge where there are many elderly people trapped on the 14th and 15th floors that still do not have electricity or a working elevator, and there is debris everywhere, so be very careful. You don't want to step on a nail. Now, as far as these homes that are hardest hit, one of them that I went into, the man who lives there works for JEA, so he's not even able to restore his house to salvage his belongings because right now he is working around the clock to make sure that other people have electricity and sewage. We're live in Riverside. I'm Vic Micolucci, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Vic. This afternoon, Mayor Curry walked Northwest Jacksonville to see how people are faring after Hurricane Irma. He put out the word today, reminding people that there are water and meal distribution centers, one at Hobby Lobby on Beach Boulevard, another at McDonald's at Beach and University, Edward Waters College, and at the Supervisor of Elections office. The mayor's walk came just hours after he announced city leaders and nonprofits are kickstarting Florida's First Coast Relief Fund after the storm. The mayor says in the last 2 days, more than $2 million has been pledged, and 100% of that money will go toward helping people with things like food, medical supplies, repairs, and housing. A number of organizations are on board and contributing, like the Jacksonville Jaguars, Florida Blue, United Way, Northeast Florida, and more.
Now to one of the hardest hit places in Clay County. Today, Governor Scott surveyed the damage along Black Creek by boat. Although, fortunately, the water is continuing to recede in that area, there are still homes, cars, and street signs that remain submerged, and it could take months for these hundreds of families to get back to normal. The creek overflowed its banks 28.5 feet above flood stage. The governor says he will work to make sure everyone here in Northeast Florida will get the federal, state, and local resources that they need. Clay County Emergency Management is reaching out to FEMA and will let the public know when federal relief officials will visit the area to answer the questions of storm victims.
St. Johns County EOC confirmed that 3 tornadoes touched down in the county during Hurricane Irma. An EF2 hit Crescent Beach, and an EF1 tornado touched down near Volano Beach, and another tore through a cemetery in St. Augustine. This is Sky 4 drone video of the damage at the Summer Haven condos in Crescent Beach. Just annihilated. Several units are wiped out by 135-mile-per-hour winds. And now to the historic Huguenot Cemetery in St. Augustine. Several downed trees, some uprooted, others just snapped in half, while branches and debris litter the ground. Covering Nassau County, some families in Callahan are still dealing with significant flooding.
Sky 4 helicopter video of the area shows homes surrounded by water. Just look at that. No way to get there except by boat. Channel 4's Chris Parento spoke with one resident who lost nearly everything.
3 days after Hurricane Irma, this is still what is left in the driveway of the home. The water almost up to my knees, and it's like this, if not deeper, all around the entire house. You can imagine the disappointment for this family, knowing that everything they've worked so hard to have and to build is now gone. Walking through water up to his knees is the only way Tyler Morris can get into his home. Once he's inside, more water.
You can tell on the wall here where the actual water was. And then in some places I was walking up to my waist in water.
Morris was in Tallahassee working with the National Guard, waiting to deploy to help others after Hurricane Irma when he got a phone call from home. It was his family who needed help.
We tried to store as many things as we could on the countertops, and then even the dining room. We tried to store as many things we could on the table, but it got so high, it floated the table. So usually this is a big luscious field that, you know, I let all my animals graze, all my chickens, all my goats, my emus, everything, my geese. Now, my bees were over there on that far corner, all the hives underwater, gone. Every beehive.
I mean, this is your life. Yeah. Hard work that he's put in with all of us 5 years to get this ready for him to have a farm, you know, for produce and animals, and, you know, because eventually that was his dream, to live off the land, you know. That's what they were going to do. And now it's done, it's over, it's gone.
3 kids and 1 on the way, so we're, you know, we'll survive. Country boy will survive, you know.
Those kids and his wife are what Tyler Morris says has kept him pushing forward and not letting this break him down. Morris says thankfully he has homeowners and flood insurance, but that doesn't make what he's up against any easier. He did tell me he will get things rebuilt and start over so his family has everything they need. In Nassau County, I'm Chris Parento, Channel 4.
Hi.
The local station.
Here they have.
So much resilience and optimism. A push to save hundreds of local pets with nowhere to go after the storm.
How you can help rescue these cats and dogs, give them a good home.
And forced to close their doors by flooding, how businesses in San Marco are working to bounce back.
And taking a live look from our Sky 4 helicopter, this is Memorial Park in Riverside now. It was swamped, practically swallowed up by Irma. You can see the damage now. Happened just 2 days ago. We'll be right back.
There's no